Good evening, everyone. I would like to call Greensboro Minimum Housing Standards Commission April 15th meetings to order. We'll move on and approve last meeting's minutes.
Yeah, motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve, a second. Yeah, seconded by Omar, yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. So we would like to move to vote for chair and vice chair of our commission.
So I will say real quick, I know that you were the vice chair.
Yes.
I put both just to out of habit. So I'll let you all kind of take control of the vote. But I did. I know that you're the vice chair, so I wasn't trying to like boot you from vice chair. I just put it to be correct. So.
Yes. Okay. So.
Commissioners, what I would encourage would be if anyone has a nomination for chair, maybe we lead off with that nomination, see if there are multiple nominations, and take a vote. Then we do the same thing for vice chair. That would be my recommendation.
Okay, we go for chair first, and if there are nominations or people are nominated themselves.
Yes, so I would like to nominate Mr. McCaskill as chair.
Okay. Do we have any other nominations that we intend to be putting forward before we put to a vote? For chair?
Yes, I would like to nominate myself
Okay.
for chair.
Okay. Well, if we have just the two, what I would encourage is let's take the first one that came up. Mr. Jones, I believe was a nomination you made. If you want to make your motion, and then let's see what we have in the way of votes.
I would like to make a motion to nominate Mr. McCaskill as chair of the Greensboro Minimum Housing Standards Commission.
And if there's a second for that, say we.
Second.
All right. How many would be in favor of that? Show of hands.
So it's up or down on that?
Yes, sir. So, yeah, show of hands would be affirmative for Mr. McCaskill as chair.
Okay.
Sorry, I
All
saw
in
hands
favor?
momentarily. Yes, sir.
We vote here.
That is a majority. So I think the vote would be conclusive at that point. And I would say we move to the vote for vice chair in that instance. Anybody have a nomination for vice chair?
Now we need nominations for vice chair, please.
Sorry, can you read?
I nominate Mr. Isufu.
Second.
All right. If y'all want to just move that motion at this point, see how it ends up.
Motion for Commissioner Sifu for vice chair.
Second. What do we have in the way of a vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
Certainly heard enough ayes for that to carry that. So,
Thank you.
Sounds like we've got that sorted.
So with the vote completed, we're going to switch roles. Thank you. Okay, you can see where we go.
So it starts right now.
Mr. McCaskill, yes, I would say
Okay.
votes effective immediately. Sorry, for clarity's sake, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Item number 3, we needed to vote about the meeting time. It is currently set for Wednesdays at 5:30. As originally discussed, it was brought back up if we wanted to revote to move the meeting time back to the original 1:30 that we started at.
So the reason we changed it to 5:30 is to conform with other boards and commissions, and because we thought it would be more accessible to the public, right? So you might ask the staff if they have any sense of, will more people come to this meeting at 5:30 than at 1:30? If not, it's clearly the commissioner for 1:30.
I know that we did have a vote, the majority voted for 5:30 to see more public attendance. We haven't seen any additional changes of attendance. I would say we move to vote on moving the time back to 1:30 and see where the board stands. We have a motion.
So the staff doesn't have any feeling on that.
What he said so far, the meetings that we've had at 5:30, we have seen no changes. We saw more of the public, which is still limited to be transparent, but we saw more public at 1:30 than we have at 5:30 traditionally, yes, so far.
Then I move that we move the,
Yeah, but can we really say that we didn't get a crowd in the evening because we only had like 3 sessions or 2, so we cannot compare them. We've been doing 1:30 for more than a year, 2 years, and we cannot just take 2 weeks or 2 meetings and compare them with, no, we cannot do that. That's not going to be.
No, I said it was like so far. I know we've only done 2 or 3. It was, you all voted on changing it to 5:30. It was brought up at the last meeting to wanting to have a vote for a rediscussion about it. So I put on the agenda. It's your board,
Yes,
it's your
I
commission,
do that.
so it's up to you.
It was a comparison that I was trying to, but let's vote and see where we are.
Do we have a motion to vote for the time change of 1:30?
I motion to vote for the time change.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Let's have a vote of those in favor of moving the meeting to 1:30.
aye.
Aye. 4?
Yeah, sorry, if y'all can maybe just raise
Yeah,
hands.
raise
while we
your hands.
vote.
I think it was 4
The ayes came in.
for 1:30. It's 5.
All right, so that's majority vote.
Majority vote. All right, with that vote, we look to move the meeting to 1:30.
Yes, sir. Chair McCaskill, I was able to confirm Ms. Holt real quick. I think we can, get that effective as of next month. So
Okay. All right, item number 4, request of staff for any changes to the agenda.
I don't necessarily have a change. I have a request that the only member of the public that we have is the property owner for agenda item number 10, and that being the case, in the interest of her, out of respect for her time and the gentleman's time, if we could hear that case first. But that's up to you all.
You would like to hear item 10 in front of item 8, the notice of violation. All right. If there are no further changes, item number 5, swearing in of the city staff.
Place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right. You swear or affirm the testimony you give in the following matters will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you. Please proceed.
Item number 6, swearing in of owners, citizens, and others testimony.
Place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right. You swear or affirm the testimony you give in the following matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you. Please proceed.
Alright. Item 7 is our public comment period. Please note the Housing Commission is a quasi-judicial board, therefore speakers may only address in general the minimum housing standards or affordable housing in Greensboro. Speakers may not address any property that's currently under investigation or may be under investigation. Speakers who attempt to discuss a specific property other than as allowed above will be asked to end their comments. Each speaker is given 3 minutes each. Staff will provide the speaker a 10-second warning before the time expires and the mic will be turned off. To honor the changes from the city staff, we will skip to agenda item number 10. Item number 10, 703 South Lindell Road, case 25003795, parcel 17591, Rhonda Rosser, owner, in the matter of order to repair, alter, improve, demolish structure, requesting an ordinance to repair. The inspector is Mark Wayman.
So for 703 South Lindell Road, we did, the date of the initial inspection was August 12th, 2025. There was an inspector's hearing on September 23rd, 2025. The order to repair or demolish was issued on September 23rd, 2025, expired October 23rd, 2025. The property did not have to be secured. There are children in the area. There is not a school nearby. There is not a history of police complaints. We did send out the notice of hearing and the inspector's order to repair by both first class and certified mail and achieve good service. The owner is here. The city is requesting an order to repair. The estimated cost to repair is 40% of the tax value.
Chair, I'd be happy to ask the inspector a few questions to help us proceed.
Please do.
Inspector, can you state your full name for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Mark Wayman.
All right. Mr. Wayman, you inspected the property and documented the violations, is that correct?
Actually, no. Another inspector initiated the case and performed the initial inspection as well as the hearing.
Okay.
Since that inspection was done and the hearing, that inspector is now located in another area of the city. So I'm a supervisor for this area, so that's why I'm assuming we're wrong.
Thank you for the clarification, Mr. Wayman. Now, the video that is playing here, can you confirm that that depicts the violations as of the last visit?
Yes, sir, can confirm.
All right. As that video plays, would you be able to articulate some of those violations, the nature of them?
Yes, when the video started, I started at the backside of the property, and you could see some minor fire and smoke damage around near the back door and the back window. Also, there's a metal roof over the patio that had collapsed that either needs to be just removed or replaced. Now, the rest of the exterior, there's just a few minor issues. You can see a couple of the windows are still boarded because they were damaged from the fire, probably mostly heat and fire. But the inside of the home, once we get to that point, you'll see that the entire interior has been gutted down to the bare framing. So you got stud walls. You can look up and see the framing for the ceiling, the rafters. You'll see that there's 1x6 subfloor in place, but not a finished floor. You'll also see where the fire department had opened up the roof to let this to direct the fire. But it is essentially a clean slate. It's ready to be rebuilt now.
Thank you, Inspector. Chair, members of the board, if y'all have any follow-up questions for Mr. Wayman, I'd be glad to yield some time to y'all. And also, I will note, since the owner is present, in the interest of their due process, if they did have questions that they want to raise, I'd certainly want to give them, a moment to do so.
Does the commission have any questions about the property? And 703 South Window?
No, not at this time. We would like to hear from the property owner if there's any concerns. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I do have a question. I'm sorry, I do have a question, and forgive me if it's...
1 second, please. We do have a question from Commissioner John.
How many times has the owner been noticed? Noticed about...
I'm not aware. As I mentioned earlier, I just kind of took over this case recently.
Gotcha.
So I can say within the last 2 or 3 weeks, she's been very cooperative, communicates. I hand delivered the notice for this meeting to her, and she's just ready to move back in her home. So
What was that last? It's kind of hard to hear you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't want to get too close. Yeah. So anyway, she's been very cooperative. She communicates well. In the time period that I've worked with her, she just wants to move back in her home.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, I'd like to specifically address that, please.
Ma'am, if you'd like to have, if there are no further questions, we can have your time to speak now.
Yes, my name is Dr. Rhonda Rosser. I'm the owner of 703 South Lindell Road in Greensboro. And my house burned down on July 12th, 2025. And it's been 10 months and 3 days exactly. I've had to move 3 times within that time span. I want my home done as soon as possible with a hard completion date and a target moving date, as well as a lead time for the flooring and cabinet so that the house doesn't sit for a month. Another consideration that needs to be taken seriously is I have 2 adult handicapped children that I take care of. One is schizophrenic and one is autistic. Currently, one is having suicidal ideation. That is because we have not yet moved into our home. I have to get help for him. He's autistic. My other son is schizophrenic. He attends Sanctuary House, which is a place for people that are mentally ill, a facility that helps them. But my son that's autistic, although he has a job as a plumber's assistant, he has a hard time communicating with people, and he's also very introvert, and so he's really upset at this point, and that's what concerns me, is he's talking about, I'm dreaming about killing myself, God told me how to do it, etc. So, and because of my children, I need to establish a time, and as well as the people that I'm renting from. He's a doctor, somebody or another. But anyway, he said he needs at least 4 to 6 weeks to know so that he can rent the place back out again that we're currently at. But this is our 3rd time. I can't move again with my children. I want my house done. Of course, I realize to have it done well, it's going to take time, but it is rather expedient on my part because of my children. Thank you.
Does the commission have questions for Ms. Ron?
Yes, so I actually have a couple of questions. Is this the... Yeah. So the matter of business today in the order requesting a repair, and it seems that she has, I guess, insurance,
Yes.
fire insurance, and you're just working through these issues with the contractor?
Yes, I have.
And is this your contractor with you today, or gentleman?
Yes, that's that gentleman right there.
Gotcha. So, I guess my question to the city is, if she is actively working with her contractor, what would be the difference in her working with her contractor and the city of Greensboro, I guess, with the standard operating procedure, doing the repairs or requesting an orders of repair? Like, how would that, pair well, or is it, has to get done either way, right? So we're just allowing her more time, that we know that she's working with the insurance issue to kind of fix that, or how does that balance out?
I believe the case was brought today because regardless of the reason, whenever the repairs are not completed within a certain amount of time, and there's no forward progress, we bring it to the commission so they can hear and it doesn't create the perception that the inspectors are just handing out more time, okay? So it's a panel of people to help make that decision whether to give more time or to proceed. But that's why it was brought to you today. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And actually, I have a quick question. I hate to put you on the spot, contractor.
Put me on the spot.
I guess if you could come to the mic really quickly, because we're going to kind of vote on this. But in your professional opinion, how long would it be for the repairs to get rolling?
Commissioner Jones, we will, of course, want him to provide his name and address before he provides any testimony.
My name is Jeff Ferguson. I work with ATI Restoration. I'm a project manager. I'm actually taking care of Ms. Rouser's home. We just got approval as of Monday from her insurance company. So we've been working through, a lot of things of that nature with an estimate getting approved. And it's finally been approved. I met with her Monday. I met with a framing contractor out there today to get things marked what needed to be repaired, replaced. And then we're supposed to start Friday. I went ahead and purchased the roofing. Everything's going to start rolling forward, and I'm thinking 5 to 6 months. I'm trying to get her in there by September. I say that, hoping to get in sooner, but, I'm not going to tell her July or something like that, and then roll into September. That'd be good news.
In your opinion, is there any reason that you would not be able to complete this project?
Oh, no, sir. We'll be able to complete it. We've got an approval now from our insurance company, and it's now my turn to take off and get it going. And I think she's going to work well with us. If she's able to get it going and work well with us, that helps a lot to be able to get a project taken care of.
Yes. Just a community issue is to make sure that the property is properly secured. And if we can make sure that, grass is maintained and it's, a well represented of the community at large, their neighborhood, just to ensure that there's no, malice or anything that's going on around the property. And then we could probably, we'll vote to.
Now the lawn maintenance I won't be able to take care of, but as far as the securing of the home, yes, the roof that he was speaking about, it's the back patio type area that's coming down. Y'all will start seeing some change.
Any more questions?
So, Mr. Wayman, given what he said, if for some reason this thing fell apart, it's not the way we think or what we think, you can bring this back, right?
Yes.
Are there any further questions? Do we have a motion?
Chair, just for clarity's sake, would the motion be an intent to continue the matter to be able to revisit it to a later date? I'm guessing.
Well, I would imagine either it's a motion to uphold and we would vote no. You would motion to uphold and you would vote no, not to uphold the decisions of the inspector, or do you?
If I understood what he's suggesting.
Please help me here.
So I would say if we make a determinative motion, I think the concern from staff's end would be that the item would have to be restarted versus a motion to continue could give us the chance to just come back and revisit at a later time if need be. I'll let Ms. Holt put a final word on
Correct.
that.
So I know that we haven't made a habit of continuing things, but like in anybody's term on the board currently, but if you, based on his recommendation, you could continue to a future meeting. It would leave the case open. It would prevent any current enforcement action. It would just put it on hold. And then on that date, we would bring it back before you and give a status update, or he very well could have it repaired by that point.
So motion for a continuance of 120 days.
I second.
Have we looked for it? I'm fine with
I mean, it won't take 120 days to find out whether they're moving forward, right? I wonder if you would make it 90 days.
So he said he hoped 5 months. If the house is in compliance, we'll just close it and we'll never come before you again. We'll just close it because it's in compliance. So maybe we'll maybe continue it for 90 days just to, if you all want to get an update at that time. It's up to you. It's
Yeah,
your
so
call.
I can amend the motion, motion for continuance of 90 days.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do I need to make an official statement on that we've made a motion for the continuance for 90 days?
Yes, so that would put us at the, July 15th meeting for an update for you all?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah. Do you need any official statement on that?
No.
Obviously, is that good?
I don't think so.
I mean, given the nature of the motion, Chair, no, I think that was clear.
That's
That's fine.
official. Okay. All right. We'll now visit item number 8, and it's an appeal of notice violation. 1505 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, case number 260000241, parcel 5436. Joyce Woodbury and Mabel McMillan owners in the matter of an appeal of a notice of violation. Inspector Matthew Peel.
So, Justin and I are going to kind of handle, Matthew Peel was not able to come this evening. This is appeal of a notice of violation. In the packets, Justin will show some pictures from the property, but in the packet is the most recent notice of violation from April 2nd. There was one issued before that, and we did find a small error, so we reissued it. She has appealed this one as well. The property is just not kept up. Like I said, Justin has he's playing the pictures right now. There's junk vehicles at the property. There's lots of vegetative overgrowth. There's sharp, metal and glass. I'm just kind of reading through the notice of violation. There's trash, debris, other deteriorating materials. There's a concern about a breeding ground for, different kinds of rodents and such.
She has several barrels that are just completely full of rainwater.
So I will say, I did not make copies of all these. These are all letters that we've received in the last 30 days from her. Every time we visit the property, the history is every time we visit the property or issue any kind of violation to this property owner who does live there, she writes us in cursive, like an example is in your packet, letters referencing things really that are not mentioned in the notice violation. She's talking about events from 2017. She's talking about some other history on some other things with the property, but it's not really saying why this is not a violation. She has claimed, I don't know if it's in the letter that I have in your packet or not, she's claimed that the redevelopment commission might own it. Erin Nelson, who's behind me, she's done a title search on it. They are the owner, her and her. It's a two people own it. Joyce Woodbury and Mabel McMillan, I believe are the names. And the mother is deceased. I think in about a year and a half ago. So that's what I got.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the commission?
Chair McCaskill, I will just note briefly, of course, the owner not being present with us here. I think all we really have is what's been submitted from her appeal packet, but again, she's chosen to not show up. So.
Thank you.
I have some clarifying questions. So you said that we've been through this twice with her, this being the second time?
So we did, and I don't have all the exact facts, so I want to tread lightly. In January, we became aware, we're familiar with the property. She does live there. She's an elderly lady who does live there. She will not leave the house. We became aware of, we were asked by the police department to go out there because there was a deceased person in one of the vehicles there during the winter, like I think the snow or the ice storm that we had earlier in the winter. And so we had no choice but to cite the violations there. And so, and what you're seeing is, it's only going to get worse because it's starting to, it's spring, so things are starting to grow up. But we've started this process in January. She did start sending letters in January. We noticed an issue and noticed a violation when we did not put corrective actions in our January notice, so we made that correction so we couldn't bring it before you today. And that's the letter she was served with, and she appealed that as well. So this case has been ongoing since January, and it hasn't changed. It's only getting worse as things start growing.
Is there someone present here, or could there be someone present that served and spoke? Is anybody from cities spoke to her?
Yes, she's not reclusive. Like, she talks to, we've had at least 2 or 3 inspectors out there, including the supervisor. The supervisor for the area, Matthew Peel, is very familiar with her. She's very pleasant.
I believe the police department has also tried to provide assistance to her, and she refuses any assistance. We've tried to get her.
We've tried to work with community relations in the past to get her help. She even if she remotely agrees to it, by the time they get somebody out there, she refuses. It's a unfortunate situation, to be clear.
And by the course of this action, forgive my ignorance, this is only my second meeting, we're moving to demolish.
No. This is just a nuisance violation. We're not affecting the structure. She does live there. It's her property, it's her house. We just need to clean up some of the vegetation. And so if you uphold the inspector, that would be the motion, that's what y'all chose. And it would just be to clear the nuisance violations. We are not looking at the house
to condemn it,
because she will not leave it.
Gotcha.
And right now we don't have the means to get her out of it.
Okay.
And we've reached out to her family, and her family can't get her out of it. So
it would be her responsibility to comply with the action of this board. Am I right?
yes, if she does not, then we will assign a city contractor to clear the nuisance violations, and then a bill would go against the property.
Thank you.
So there's no reason to go into the home. We can assume it looks the same inside as it is outside.
The home is not in good condition. However, she will not leave it, and we can't.
So would it have to be someone related to her to give you permission, or would it have to be her herself to say, come in?
Even if we went in with a warrant, administrative warrant, or with her permission, because she's the only person that lives there, we cannot make her leave it.
She have anywhere to go if she leaves them. So it's a question to be asked too. So.
Vice Chair, if I would just gently remind the board, I mean, at this stage, it's a nuisance abatement case, right? That's the scope of what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with the structure. I think certainly the interest in kind of understanding the surrounding circumstances is well placed, but really what brings us here for this quasi-judicial hearing is that limited scope of nuisance abatement. So.
Yes, just to remind the commission that we're focusing not on the house, we're focusing on the violation of notice of violation for the nuisance of the property or overgrown vegetation.
I motion to uphold the inspector's notice of the nuisance.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. City, would you guide me on any appropriate language I need to confirm that, or is that sufficient?
I mean, just.
Yeah, I think the vote speaks for itself, Chair.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, item number 9 is 807 East Bragg Street, case 2500-63515, parcel 4965. The owner is Go Getter 2X LLC in the matter of order to repair, alter, improve, or demolish structure. There's a requesting an ordinance to repair.
So, for 807 East Bragg Street, the date of initial inspection was December 10th, 2025. There was an inspector's hearing on January 9th, 2026. The order to repair and demolish was issued on February 16th, 2026. It expired on March 18th, 2026. The property did not have to be secured. There are children in the area. There is not a school nearby. There is not a history of police complaints. The city is requesting an ordinance to repair. The repair estimate is approximately 25% of the tax value. Brian, or we did send both the inspector's hearing and the order to repair notice and today's meeting notices, first class and certified, to the owner. We did publish as well. And Brian can speak on it, but my understanding is we just haven't heard anything from, or there's been no intent to repair. So that's why we're here today.
Chair, again, I'd be glad to ask the inspector a few questions. Inspector, first, could you state your name for the record, please?
Brian Scarfino.
All right, and are you the one who inspected the property and documented the violations?
Yes.
All right, and while the video is playing, does that accurately depict the condition of the property when you were last out there?
Yes.
All right, and as it plays, could you just list off the violations that are present?
Not many exterior violations. Most of the violations were the interior. Unfortunately, he turned it over to a property management company that tried to turn it into a boarding house, and they walked away. And so he got stuck with pretty much squatters in the house. He had to go through the eviction process. Of course, it's interior damage that's been done. But since I think it was the end of February, 1st of March, was when the house was vacated. He has not started the process of repairs at this time.
And Chair, if anybody...
Are there any questions from the commission? And just to clarify, there's been no communication.
Yeah, I actually seen him about 3 weeks ago. He was changing the locks. He says get started right away. Again, he said next week. That was 2 weeks ago, so I haven't seen anything.
He did provide intent to repair. Like he has a desire to fix the property, or is there a limbo between him and the management company?
No, they're out. He is going to. His intent is to repair the property. Like I said, he changed the locks 2 weeks ago. I haven't seen any action since.
And of course, Chair McCaskill, I will note, with the owner not being present, Inspector Scarfino can only kind of give you his impression, so.
Yeah, but. Are there any further questions? Do we have a motion?
I move a motion to uphold the inspector's request to repair this property.
Properly seconded. All in favor? Aye. All right. The property involved in this matter is located at 807 East Bragg Street. The property owner and all parties interested in said property have been properly served with all complaints notices and orders issued in this matter in compliance with the law. The property owner and all parties in interest were afforded their due process rights in compliance with the law. The property in question has more than 5 separate types of violations of any of the minimum housing code standards, and the cost to repair said violations is less than 50% of the value of the structure. The continuation of the dwelling in its current condition is detrimental to the health, safety, morals, and welfare of the people within the city of Greensboro and is unfit for human habitation. Based on the foregoing findings of fact, it is hereby concluded: 1, this matter is properly before this commission. 2, the described structure is dangerous and unfit for human habitation. And 3, the order of the inspector is proper in all respects. Therefore, it is ordered, resolved, and decreed by a vote of this commission that the inspector's order to repair is upheld. The 15th day of April 2026. All right. The following items 11 to 13 are motion to rescind ordinances.
I move to rescind items 11 through 13, which are now in compliance.
Second.
All in favor? I think usually at this time we have comments from the commission, if there are. Are there any comments from the commission today?
Well, as I think you probably know, our new city council has been working diligently to overhaul the city compliance codes, ordinances, is what I'm trying to say. And we have 2 of the people who have really been doing that heavy lifting here. And I would just wonder whether Councilwoman Black or Councilwoman Crawford would like to say, I think this is coming before. Is this not okay, Brent? This is going to be on the agenda for next Tuesday. And so what I was wondering is whether you might want to just give us a little advance notice. Oh, you want him to do it?
Brent will do it.
Okay.
Brent will do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can say that there is an item that is, going to amend a number of provisions of the housing code, which is on the agenda for next week. I'm not sure how much detail really to provide, but I mean, increased fines, there's a variety of amendments aimed at just trying to make sure we are moving forward in enforcement matters. Sorry, I was kind of caught off guard by that, Commissioner. Sorry.
Is it fair to say we're going to get more business?
I think we'd have to speak with staff a little bit around that, but I think that's a fair, quite a chance, yes.
I didn't mean to cause a problem here.
We're like county.
Well, I guess I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, I don't know legally, but, yeah. So we've, let me not say we. So over the last 10 years or so, I've been going door to door, talking with tenants, looking at terrible conditions. I think Matthew Peel in most of the places that I've gone is like he's not a superhero. But, you know, there's only so much that he can do when he goes to these tenants. There's only so much that any of our code inspectors can do when they go into these spaces. And that's been the city's fault. We have not given the inspectors the kind of tools and the teeth that they need to hold non-compliant. I want to make sure that we're saying non-compliant landlords, because not all landlords are terrible landlords, right? The ones that you see are non-compliant landlords, and we have a hard time holding them accountable. Also, non-compliant homeowners, right? Not like the lady we saw here, they just waiting on their insurance, but people who just refuse to make repairs. And this breaks down our communities, our neighborhoods. So not only have we seen the impact on the tenants, the impact on the community, but we've heard from them too and want us to do something about this. So that's what's going to happen on Tuesday. Is the council's going to vote on shortening these timelines that you guys have been seeing, also addressing some issues that we had before, like mold, and then also increasing the fines. We know that $10 a day has kept a lot of people from having their day in here. And so we're just really excited about Tuesday night.
Just so you know that we also put forth a commercial ordinance that will address commercial properties. And that'll be something new that you all will have come before you. When they give you a snazzier name that encompasses what you will be seeing before you, it will be more than housing. But as CC shared, or Councilman Crawford shared,
Thank you for what you
Thank you. I think I speak for the commission. I think we're all excited to hear that we have a little bit more bite. Yep. Okay. Are there any further comments from the commission? I'd like to just say one thing, thank you for the vote to chair. I will continue to perfect my language up here. Do we have a motion?
To adjourn.
Second.
Properly seconded, all in favor? This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.